hold that in mind as you're releasing and as we're working on today's tape. What we're going to do now is do some group releasing. We're going to be releasing in the group here and also with our home viewer, and just taking some specifics from last night or this morning and about your releasing in general and seeing what feelings are there. Okay, so just get comfortable and put your attention on your feeling center. And let's do some releasing. You might want to make sure that you have the chart in front of you. That way you can refer to any feelings if you're not sure where they go or you're not sure quite what you're feeling. But anyway, let's get started. Think about something that happened either last night or this morning, or since you last watched the tape, your last tape. Just find a specific that you have a feeling about. And just see what that feeling is. Allow yourself to identify it on the chart. Just allow yourself now to feel that feeling. Whatever that feeling is, could you let it go? Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Now go back and look inside again and feel that feeling again. Feel the remainder of the feeling there. Could you let it release? If you could, would you? And if you would, when would you let it go? Okay. Now just think back again since you last watched the tape. Perhaps there was someone you saw or spoke with that you have a feeling about. Just think of who you might have seen, who you might have spoken to, what feelings might be there. Just allow yourself to identify your now feeling about that person. Now just let yourself feel the feeling. Just really allow yourself to feel it. Could you decide to let that feeling go? Would you decide to let it go? And when would you let it go? And when you think of that person again, see if you can feel any more of that remaining feeling. There's probably more there. Just allow yourself to feel it again. Now could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? Was there anything that you were doing last night or this morning, or since you last watched the tape? Any action you had to take that you have a feeling about? And just allow yourself to feel your now feeling about that. Just really let yourself feel that feeling, whatever it is. Could you let that feeling go? It's just a feeling. Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Okay. Now take a look now. Let's see how you're feeling about your releasing so far. Just look on the chart to help you identify the feeling there and the emotion that comes under. And whatever the feeling is, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let that feeling go? Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Just see if there's any more of that remaining feeling there. Feel it again. Could you let it release? If you could, would you? And if you would, when would you let it go? And let's see, how do you feel about working on this tape today? Is there a feeling there about doing that? And if there is, allow yourself to feel that feeling you're now feeling about what we'll be doing today. Just sitting watching. Whatever that feeling is, allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? And when would you let it go? See if there's any more remaining of that feeling there. Just allow yourself to feel it. Could you decide to let it go? Would you decide to let it go? When would you decide to let it go? Okay, good. So you should be really feeling quite relaxed by now. You might want to take a moment to write in your games book what you released also. So those of you at home and those of you here, I'd like you to turn in your workbooks to the page marked Games. I'd like to reinforce with all of you the importance of writing your games. It's really a very important part of using the release technique and developing the process for yourself. As I mentioned yesterday, or in the previous tape, it is important to validate yourself for the good things that you're doing, the good things that you're experiencing, instead of just associating with the negative all of the time. Games can be large or they can be small. It doesn't matter, they're all as important. And you'll find, just look for internally. People sometimes say, Well, how do I know if it's a gain? The real key is to look inside and to see if you're now feeling good when before you were feeling bad. It's really very simple, but if you'll keep checking that, then you'll have a greater understanding of whether you released or not and whether you've had a gain. There's a list of things here, as you can see, that you're also going to start to look forward to and may already be experiencing in terms of your gains. And let me pick a few to go over with you. You'll notice already positive changes in attitude or behavior. If you notice that you're doing something differently or handling a situation differently than you were before, that's your releasing. That is a gain. We all often, carry on in habits, or we have routines that we stick to because we're comfortable with them, because we don't try anything else. You'll find that as you release, you start to kind of maybe break some of those. You start to notice that, for instance, Greg, sleeping, he started to sleep better, slept for a longer time. That's a change in behavior. It's a gain. If you notice that perhaps you got out of bed earlier this morning than you usually do, and with energy, that's a reflection of your releasing. It's a gain, even if you weren't specifically releasing on what time to get up in the morning. So it's important to acknowledge that and look for it. You'll see it everywhere. As you start releasing, you'll really start to see it in all different areas of your life. Another one here is more effective communication. You'll really notice that as you use the technique, the gains in this area are just wonderful. You'll see that you have better relationships with your co-workers, with your significant others, because what you're doing is releasing your feelings in the way of you being able to communicate effectively with that person. Not only that, they hear you a lot easier. You don't have to push so much, or you don't have to run into other people's feelings. You'll also understand other people's feelings that much more. And when you have an understanding too, it will help you let go. So you're not always judging other people or having so many feelings about other people. You're able to let those go. And that improves communication just tremendously. You'll find that you have much greater flexibility. Maybe when you were set in doing things a certain way, you'll start thinking of, ideas of how you could do the same thing in a different way. Or when someone says to you, no, they don't want to do that, normally you would insist. Maybe you'll release instead and find that it's okay to do it somebody else's way, and it's all right. You'll just notice that when we feel that we have to be kind of rigid in our decisions, and often I think we are, then it doesn't allow for any flexibility. And that creates stress, because we want things our way and we want them to be a certain way. And as you release, that just loosens up. And you're able to really just do what is appropriate in the moment. We've also had many graduates share over the years how easy it is for them to complete things. You may be somebody who procrastinates or puts things off. And we have found over and over again, people who are releasing and using the technique complete things much more easily, much more effectively, much faster. There's a gain that I'd like to share really with you from a graduate who really had exactly this happen. And he was writing a screenplay. He'd been writing it for 10 years. And he took the course. And he called up shortly after taking the course. And he said, "You'll never guess what? I have done it. I finished it. I have finished my screenplay after 10 years. And what I saw was it was just all the feelings about people seeing my work, all the feelings. And he said, and I just let go of them all. And in fact, I've even got people interested in what I've written." So you'll find that for yourself, whether it be small things or projects that you're working on, you'll find them much easier to complete. You'll also find that you have a lot more insights and realizations about yourself. Those are important too, and make sure that you write those down. They'll help you in your releasing, both when you think of it and also in the future, just when you flick through your gains book and you see how that helped you in the past. It will be there to help you again. Another thing is you'll find that you'll be a lot more relaxed and confident in action. When we're all under pressure, but we have to get things done, you'll find that as you use the technique, when a stressful situation or you're in that action, having to take that action, you use the technique then, you don't feel stressed when you take it, when you take the appropriate action or doing what you need to do, especially if it's something new. That can often stir up more feelings inside. When you release, you will find that you're able to be a lot more relaxed. And when you're more relaxed, you're more confident. And when you're more confident, you're just going to achieve that much more. It's something that again and again graduates have reported to us. And they just can accomplish so much more. You'll also find that you handle change much more effectively. We don't really like things to change much. We like them to be the way they are, because then it doesn't stir up our feelings. And you'll find that new beginnings or changes are that much easier to deal with. If you're moving house or changing job, you'll find that it stirs up feelings there. And you'll find that when you release, it makes that transition so much smoother and so much easier to deal with that it's just going to benefit you tremendously. You'll also notice, quite simply, an increase in positive feelings. You'll just be aware of your positive feelings more. As you let go of your negative feelings, what's naturally there is a positive person. And you'll be more and more aware of that and relating to that. And obviously in relation to that, you'll notice a decrease in your negative feelings. So your whole overall picture is going to change also. There are lots of things about gains. You're going to have your own things that you can add to this list. You'll notice many, many different things. This is just a sample of the sort of things that you can begin to expect. And also just a reminder, do write down, even if it's a small gain that you have. Because those small feelings that we release, maybe you get in the shower, for instance, and there's no soap in the shower. Doesn't that always bring up a feeling? You have to get out, you're wet, you go and get the soap, you get back in. It's not the same. If you're to release in that moment, you'll find it just so much, you'll enjoy it so much more. It won't hold you back. Very often, those things accumulate. So you left the soap out of the shower, and then you lose your keys before you try to get to work. And then you sit in a traffic jam on the freeway. And by the time you get to work, you're feeling stressed. Now, if you'll release as you go along and do that, so in those situations as they occur, it's not going to be building. It's not going to be accumulating. So you're going to be releasing that much more effectively throughout your day. And you're going to notice many more things then that you can carry on adding to this list yourself. Okay. We'll also be introducing this morning some new material that's really going to accelerate your releasing. You'll remember on the first tape that Hale mentioned we were going to be releasing our good feelings too. And there's a reason for this. Obviously, we have this lifetime habit of holding on to our feelings. And so we're going to take it one step further now and show you how also to release good feelings. You're going to feel so much better. People ask me, well, why would I want to let go of a good feeling? I like that feeling. But if you'll let go of a good feeling, you can feel even better. And what's wrong with that? If you think about it, in that you're already feeling good, but can't you feel any better? For instance, if you're in the courageousness area on the chart, what's wrong with feeling an acceptance or a peaceful feeling? So very often we kind of settle for less. We think that because we feel good, we better hold on to that feeling as tight as we can because maybe it won't come back. You know, and we feel we have to hold on to the good feelings. You don't at all. In fact, that just reinforces your habit of holding on. You have to be willing to let go of all of the feelings, really, and allow the next good feeling to be there. Allow yourself to feel even better than that. So we're going to be doing some things this morning so you can be practicing that, releasing the good feelings also. Okay, so those of you at home and those of you here, I'd like you to turn to the page that says likes and dislikes in your notebook. This is a very powerful releasing sheet that you can use on anything you would like to do additional releasing on. It's very effective with people, releasing on people, on situations, on anything really. If you have a co-worker you have feelings about, or your boss, or your mate, if you have feelings about moving house, or changing job, whatever it is. So what I'd like you to do now is to take a few moments and just think of a topic or an area that you would like to focus on in using this sheet. And I'll show you how to use it. Now this worksheet is a little different from the others that we've worked on so far. What we'll be doing is, first of all, we'll be taking something that you like about the particular topic you've chosen and seeing what your now feeling is about that, releasing it, checking off the let go column and the feel good, and then we'll be going to a dislike, finding something that you dislike about your particular topic. And we're going to be going back and forth. We're not going to be just writing a list on what you like about it and what you dislike. That way you'll be keeping a balance with your releasing, and you're not going to just be focusing on the positive or just on the negative. So it's really going to create a nice flow with your releasing. So who would like to work first?
I would.
Michael, what's your topic?
Getting older.
Okay, great, wonderful. So what is it that you like about getting older?
I think you get smarter. You gain wisdom.
Okay, just make a note of that under the column that says, what do I like about that?
Okay.
Okay. And how does that make you feel, Michael?
I kind of feel proud.
Okay, so just make a note of the pride feeling, feel proud. Okay. Now just allow yourself to feel that feeling of pride.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
I could.
If you could, would you?
Yeah, I would.
Good. When would you let it go?
It went away.
Okay, good. Let's check back again. See if there's any remaining there. Just check and see.
I feel happier now
Okay.
about it.
Let's check the pride in the let go column then. Okay. And when you think about that again, what's the feeling there now?
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Okay, great. Where would you put that on the chart? Feels good?
Maybe courageousness or acceptance. in there
Okay,
somewhere.
good. Just make a note of that under what's my now feeling.
Okay. Okay.
Now let's release that good feeling. Just allow yourself, Michael, to feel the courageous feeling.
Okay.
Okay. Now could you let that feeling go?
Yes, I could.
If you could, would you?
I would.
When would you let that go? Okay. Is there any more of it there? More of it just leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Just check again, is there more of the courageousness? I don't even need to ask you, I don't think.
Every time I touch it, I laugh.
Just letting go of more.
Yeah,
Well, how are you feeling now?
yeah, it feels calm.
Good. Where would you put the calm feeling?
It's peace.
Yes. So check off letting go of the courageousness. And why don't we do a release on the calm feeling too?
Okay.
Okay. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can
See,
feel
perhaps you can feel even more of it when you let go. Just let yourself feel it. Could you allow it to release?
I could.
Good. Would you?
Yeah, I would.
When?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, it went away.
Okay, so you can give yourself a check there too.
Okay.
Still feeling good?
Yeah. Feel pretty good.
Let's pick a dislike now. What's something that you dislike about getting older?
It's closer to the end.
Okay, just make a note of that.
Okay.
Closer to the end.
Okay.
Okay. Now what now feeling does that stir up? When you think of being closer to the end.
Grief.
Okay. Just allow yourself, Michael, to feel that grief feeling. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Good. Would you?
I would.
When would you let it go? All right.
Okay, well, yeah.
Just see if there's any more of it there. Take a look again when you think about being nearer to the end. Can you feel any more of that grief feeling?
No, it feels more like anger.
Okay. So just make a note of the anger there under what's my now feeling.
Okay.
And just allow yourself, Michael, to feel that feeling of anger.
Okay.
Would you let it go?
Yes, I would.
When would you let it go?
You know.
All right. See if you can feel it again.
Okay.
Just feel the remaining anger there.
Okay.
Okay. Could you let go of more of that anger feeling?
Yeah, it went away.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can give yourself a check there.
Okay.
Now let's just check again. And when you think about being nearer the end, what's the feeling there now?
I don't know, it seems kind of comical.
Okay. Where would you put that on the chart?
Wherever absurdity is. Probably courageousness.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, let's do a release on that too.
Okay.
Might want to make a note of the courageousness under what's my now feeling.
Okay.
Okay. Now just allow yourself, Michael, to feel that courageous feeling. Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Would you let it go?
Yes, I would.
Good. When?
Now.
All right. Let's look again, see if there's any remaining there.
Yes.
Okay. Just letting it go.
Yeah.
Is there any more there?
A smidgen, yeah.
Not for long, huh? Okay. So give yourself a check on the courageousness column.
Okay.
Let's go back to another like. What's something else that you like about getting older?
The alternative is worse.
Just make a note of that. Some would agree and some wouldn't. Okay.
Okay.
And how does that make you feel? What's your now feeling about that?
I'm grateful.
Okay. Where would you put that on the chart? That grateful feeling?
Grateful. Maybe pride, maybe acceptance, somewhere in there. Maybe a little of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you feel more strongly right now, Michael?
Maybe pride.
Okay. Just make a note of the pride feeling.
Okay.
And just allow yourself to feel that feeling of pride. Can you feel it?
I can.
Could you let go of that pride feeling?
Yes, I could.
If you could, would you?
I would.
When would you let it go?
Now.
Good. Is there any more remaining of that pride feeling there?
No.
Okay.
It's not.
So give yourself a check in that column and let go.
Okay.
Just see, when you think about the alternative being worse, what's the feeling there now?
I feel grateful. It's more of an acceptance. It's just a
Okay.
fact.
Yes. Just make a note of that under what's my now feeling. Just allow yourself to feel that accepting feeling. Just let yourself feel it.
That feels good.
Yeah. Could you let it go?
Do I have to?
Well, might be even better.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, it's better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Would you let some more of it go?
I feel calm.
Good. Okay. So you're back in the peace?
Yeah.
Good. So give yourself a check on the acceptance column there, on the let go. And let's move to another dislike. What's something else, Michael, that you dislike about getting older?
Physical decay.
All right. Let's make a note of that. I think we can all release along with this, don't you? Okay. When you think of physical decay, what is your now feeling about that?
I'm laughing, but it's really a sense of panic.
Okay, just write it down. Okay. And just, where would you put that on the chart? The panic.
It's fear.
Yes. Just allow yourself to feel that feeling of fear. Just remember, it's just a feeling. Can you allow yourself to feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Could you let it go?
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay. It's possible though, right?
Yeah, it's possible.
Good. If it's possible, would you?
Yeah, definitely.
When? Okay, good. Let's go back to it. Feel the remainder there, Michael, of that panic feeling.
Okay.
Can you feel it?
It
That
feels more
feeling.
like grief.
All right. Allow yourself to feel that grief feeling. Could you let that feeling of grief go?
Yes, I could.
Good. If you could, would you?
Yes, I would.
When? Hey, Michael, so just see if there's any more of that remaining feeling there. Is there more of it?
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah. Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Would you let it go?
Yes, I would.
When would you let it go? Okay, good. Let's check again. Well, maybe not.
Okay.
I'll just check again. Look and see if there's any more of it there.
Yeah, maybe a trace. Yeah.
All right. Just allow yourself to feel what's left. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Could you decide to let that feeling go? Just let it go.
Yes, I could.
Good. Would you?
Yes, I would.
When? Okay. Is there any more there?
No, not grief. No.
Okay, what's the feeling there now?
It's kind of like, I feel like I want to hold on to it.
Okay.
I want more of it.
You want more of it?
Of
Okay.
life, yes.
Oh, okay. Where would you put that on the chart? That I want more.
It would have to be lust.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let yourself feel that. That lust. That wanting more.
Let go of the lust for life.
Just
That's-
have
That's
life.
hard.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Just feel it. Just feel the lust there, that wanting it. Now, could you let go of that lust
Yes,
feeling?
I could.
Good. Would you? You definitely would, right?
Yeah.
When?
Now, yeah.
See if there's any more of that there, Michael. That lust.
Yeah, maybe. No, it feels more like courageousness.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, let's do a release on that. Just allow yourself to feel the courageous feeling.
Okay. Okay.
Could you let it go?
I could.
Would you?
Yes.
When? Okay. Can you feel any more? Releasing without the questions here. That's good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Okay. Let me just ask you, how are you feeling in general about getting older?
No, I feel a lot better. A lot better.
Great. Would you say that that's a gain?
Yeah, humongous gain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, write it down in your gains book.
I sure will.
In humongous writing.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's do some releasing now with our home viewer on the likes and dislikes. So you just follow along releasing as I'm working with our viewer at home. So just get comfortable and relax and focus on your specific topic. And what's something that you like about that topic? That person or that situation, whatever it is, just find a like. And what's your now feeling about that? Could you let that feeling go? Would you? When would you let it go? Just feel the feeling again. Allow yourself to feel the remaining part of it. Could you let it go? Would you? And when? Now find something now that you dislike about your topic. Whatever that dislike is, just write it down. And what's your now feeling there? If it helps you to look at the chart, just use that to identify the feeling. And once you've identified it, could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? And go back to that. Feel what's left of that feeling there. There's probably more of it. And just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? Just check one more time and feel what's there again. Feel whatever's there now. And could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? Now let's focus on something else that you like. And it may be a good feeling. But whatever it is, just allow yourself to feel it. Now could you let it go? Would you? When? And feel what's remaining of that feeling again. Could you let it go? Would you? And when? And think of that like again. See what feeling is there now. Whatever the feeling is, just allow yourself to feel it. And could you let it go? Would you? When would you let it go? And check inside again. See if there's any more of that feeling there. And allow yourself to feel the part that's left. And could you let it release? Could you? Would you? And when? Okay, now let's go to the other side again. And this time, find something else that you dislike about your particular topic. Just make a note of that dislike. And what's your now feeling about that? Whatever it is, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you? When? And check inside, see if there's any more of that feeling there. If there is, could you let it go? Would you? And when? And when you think of that particular dislike, see if there's another feeling there about that. And whatever feeling is there, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Let's just check one last time. And feel any more of that remaining feeling there. And could you let it go? Would you let it go? And when would you let it go? Now I would carry on, just working on this sheet, taking a like and then a dislike, and seeing what feelings are there until you feel really good about the whole thing. And carry on however long it takes. It may take a page or it might just take a few going back and forth. But carry on until you feel good. And then pause the tape and write in your gains book. Make sure you acknowledge yourself for that releasing.
A little advice. Well, I would think it might be a little different watching it on video than being in live person. But I don't think it matters where you are, how you're getting it. But I think it goes on a very subtle level, and to just hang in there, and I just really want to encourage you to keep going as far as you can go with it, because the subtlety of it is very profound. And I think after all these years that those profound releases and the profound inner experience of what you discover is just worth taking one day at a time, one step at a time, one release at a time. But everyone can do it, and everyone can find whatever it is they're looking for, and keep going and you'll find it.
We're going to take a break here in the class now, but if you need extra time, I recommend you just carry on your releasing and come back when you're ready. But do make sure you give yourself some time also.
I found, number one, the minute I started feeling a little tired, I was able to release that fast. My concentration was extremely good, and my recall on Sunday and Monday of that seminar was extremely good. I had my notes, and I was going through rewriting my notes, and I found inserting things that I had left off when I was there that actually came from the seminar. I found that I could release stress headaches very quickly. Any pain that I felt disappeared that fast. I was able to do that.
It was just real good. A lot of good positive things happened. The relationship with my husband turning completely around, being able to communicate better, and in 2 hours time than probably in 14 years, and he's seen such a difference, my whole family has, in me. I also went to the same seminar that Jack went to, and Jean Marie, and I just had to walk in Friday to the seminar and have several people come up and say, "What are you doing?" And I'd say, "Why? You look so totally different." How? Well, I don't know. There's just a glow about you. And, so it's been very noticeable, I think.
Welcome back from the break. I hope you had lots of good releasing opportunities and used the method on your break, whether it was a few minutes or longer. Also, I want to say a little more about gains. I know we've been mentioning a lot on this course about gains, but I just want to emphasize the importance of carrying this book with you wherever you go and recording your gains, no matter how small. We are all excellent at validating what doesn't work in our lives. Just experts at it. We're pros. In fact, I could ask anyone here or anyone at home to make a list of all the things that don't work about their lives and all the things that are off, and you'd have no problem with it at all. No problem at all. If I asked you to make a similar list of everything that was good in your life, you'd start scratching. You might think of one or two, and then you'd be hard-pressed to think of it. It's only a habit. One of the things we'll be doing by releasing is we'll start to break that habit of always getting caught up in the negative. By willing to face your feelings and let them go, you naturally become more and more positive. Your inherent state is positive. And this book will help remind you that it's starting to shine through. It's you doing it. And it will not only help you with releasing, it will help you in your life. How many times have you been involved in a project, and because you weren't aware of the progress you were making, you gave up? Because you didn't validate. Yeah, I've taken a few steps. Maybe you're not at the goal yet, but you've taken a few steps towards the goal, and we forget that. And we get lost in the next obstacle. And we can do that with the method, too. You can forget. The next time the feeling comes up, you go, "Oh, God, I didn't make any progress. Why am I even doing this?" But then if you take out your gains book and look in and say, "Well, wait a minute. Yeah, well, just about 10 minutes ago I had this." And also, by the way, it's a good idea to date each page in here and put all the gains from that day on one page. The reason for that is you might think it took you forever to work through a problem. Then you go back in your gains book and you realize 3 days, and it was something you'd been working on for 30 years up until that point. 3 days later, after starting to release, it was starting to clear up. So make sure you also put the date on the page when you record your gains. And I can't, we'll probably mention games a few more times because it is a very important part of the course. Validate the positive. What we're going to do now is going to work on another release sheet. A lot of the course, again, is oriented around these release sheets. These are the heart of the course. And again, your willingness to apply yourselves to these release sheets will make a difference between you getting some benefit out of the method and you really flying with it. So turn to the page in your workbook that says have to on top of it, things I have to do. Most of us have long lists of things that we have to do. And the problem with all those things that we have to do is we don't want to do them. When you think you have to do anything, what's your first reaction? No, I'm not doing it, forget it, I don't want to. And we're telling ourselves you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this all day long. You have to take care of your children, you have to pay your bills, you have to. And if we're not saying it to ourselves, our spouses are, our friends are, society is, so that we live in a sea of have-tos. Now the more you release, the less you feel like you have to do anything. That doesn't mean you don't choose to do it. In fact, it's easier to do all those things that you've been saying, I have to do this, like I have to lose weight. 10 years later, I still have to lose weight. You haven't lost any weight because of that push. So what we'll be doing with this sheet is focusing on the things that we have to feel like we have to do and starting to release some of that feeling that's pushing us into feeling like we have to. Because once we let go of that feeling of having to, then we can choose to or not to. We might discover some of the things we think we have to do, we don't. Maybe we can delegate. If you're a boss and you think you have to do this, this, and this, all of a sudden you release, you might realize, hey, that's why I have employees. And we forget that because we feel like we have to do it. So make a list of some of the things that you feel like you have to do. Those of you here and also those of you at home. Before we start working on it together, I just want to briefly explain how you work with this sheet. As you've already done, you've made a list of the things that you have to do. And what we can start doing is I'll work with some people here and you at home can start working on your own. And also those of you who I'm not working with, don't wait for me. Remember, it's a do-it-yourself tool and we're working ourselves out of a job. But at any rate, what you do is you look at your list and then one at a time you see what feelings you have about that have to and you keep releasing until you feel only good feelings about it. And remember to let go of some of those too. So who has a have to they'd like to let go of? Yes, Greg.
I'll go. When I'm at work, I feel like no matter who calls or what it is, I always have to return the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of bothers me because it creates a pressure that it can be some salesperson that I really don't want to talk to, but if they leave a message in my office, like, I've got to return that call.
Right.
You know? And I'd like to change that.
Okay. So see what your now feeling is about it.
I guess there's some anxiety about feeling like I have to do that.
All right. Now
I'd like
just
to just not have to do it.
all right. Now that anxiety, is that an apathy, a grief, a fear? What feeling is
I
it?
would say it falls best into fear.
Okay, so write down fear. Okay, now just allow yourself to feel that fear feeling.
Okay.
Could you let it go? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay. Feel any more of the fear. See if there's just a little bit left.
Very small amount left.
Well, a tiny bit that's left. Just allow yourself to feel it.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now. Yeah. That's
Okay,
good.
how does it feel now?
Good.
Feels
very
good?
Yes.
Okay, well that good feeling, what is that? And is that a courageous feeling, an accepting feeling?
It's more like courageous, like I feel, well, I'll call him. It's
Okay.
my option.
Right, okay, so write that down,
Feel strong
courageous.
about it.
By the way, give yourself a check for letting go of the fear.
Okay.
All right. Now, Just allow yourself to feel the courageousness. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay, feel it again. See if there's any more of that courageousness.
I think it's all gone. There might be a small part. It feels
Okay.
pretty well gone.
Feels gone? Okay. You feel more accepting now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Want to let that go too?
No.
I knew there was a little hesitation here. But what would happen when you let go of the courageousness? You felt even better.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
See, the important thing to remember when releasing the good feelings, that the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to feel better. And that's not so bad.
It's hard to imagine.
I know. Well, the problem is feeling good for most of us, especially feeling really good, is an exception instead of the rule. But as you keep releasing, it turns around. The more you release, the more it just becomes, well, yeah, of course I feel courageousness, doesn't everyone? So as you keep releasing, especially if you're willing to also let go of the good feelings, then instead of being so unusual, they become normal. And then what happens is, Lester calls it the bottoms-up method. The more you release, most of the time we go through life like this, you know, bouncing along on the same plane, some peaks, some valleys. These are our peak experiences because we're out of the garbage for a while, and then we're back down in the stuff again, and then we have a peak, and then we're back down. But as you release, it's not that this stops, but it starts going like this. It keeps going up. So what happens is, as you keep releasing, where you used to experience peaks will start to become your valleys. And if you're willing to keep releasing the good feelings, that really accelerates that process. So I'll let you keep going on that one. You might want to do a few more have-tos. And remember, no matter how good you feel, you can just ask yourself this simple question: could it get any better? And if it could, then go for it.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
So who else has a have-to? Yes,
I've got
Rodney.
one. Be nice to everybody.
You have to be nice to everybody?
Be
Okay.
nice to everybody.
Okay. And what's your now feeling about that?
Trapped.
Trapped? Okay.
Gets back to a fear emotion.
Okay, so just allow yourself to feel the fear.
Okay.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Okay. Yes.
When?
Right now.
Okay. Now feel the fear again. Just allow yourself to feel the remaining fear.
Still there. Not as much, but it's still there.
Well, just let yourself feel it. There's no rush. Just allow yourself to feel it for a moment. Now, could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay. Now, there might still be a little bit of the fear left. A little bit. Now, just feel the remaining fear.
Okay.
There it goes. Good. You didn't even wait for me that time. Please don't wait. No waiting here. Okay, how does it feel now, Rodney?
Feels better.
Feels better? Okay, so what feeling is that? What's your now, when you look at that again, that you feel like you have to be nice?
More of a peaceful feeling.
More of a peaceful
I
feeling?
don't have to do it.
You don't have to. Great. Now you can still choose to be nice, but you don't have to. Great.
I'll probably still be nice.
But look, you'll have more of a choice if you keep releasing. Because a lot of times we think we have to be nice. And if someone's yelling at you and you're being nice back, they might not even hear you. But if you have freedom to be the way, whatever is appropriate in the moment, sometimes to get someone's attention, you might need to raise your voice. But if you think you have to be nice, you can't. It doesn't mean you don't even need to be angry to raise your voice. But if you have to be nice, you can't. So just check to see if there's any more feeling about that.
itty bitty.
Little bitty. Okay, so just allow yourself to feel it.
It's not as compulsive as it was.
Yeah, but there's still some push, right?
A little bit.
All right, so just allow yourself to feel it. Now, could you allow it to release?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
It's better.
Feels better?
I was
Okay,
not controlling.
great. Okay.
Maybe I'll just smile at it when I walk by.
All right. Now just see what, so you have a more positive feeling now?
That's more positive.
Okay, and is it a, where would you put that on the chart?
Oh, acceptance or peace.
Okay, so now let's do one release on the good feeling for a good measure. So just allow yourself to feel the good feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of a loving feeling now.
Right, so just allow yourself to feel it. And
Okay.
could you allow it to release?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
And now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
More of an infinite feeling going on here.
Right. And expanded.
Yeah, expanded feeling. That's a good word.
Great. Wonderful. Now just keep going. Keep letting that go too. It'll get even better. And make sure you keep going down on your list.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So who else has a have to they'd like to release? Craig.
When I'm around certain people, I really feel like I have to hold on to my anger. And otherwise they'll dominate me or they'll push me around. And so...
Okay. So what's your, when you think about that have to, what's your now feeling about it?
I guess it's fear.
It's fear?
Yeah.
All right, so now just allow yourself to feel the fear. Could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, feel it again. Feel the remainder of the fear.
Okay.
Okay. Now could you let it go? Could you?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Still some there, isn't there?
Yes. It's...
Might be a little bit of a sense that it's not okay to let it go here either. You know what I mean? You feel like you have to hold on around them. Even thinking about them, you feel like you have to hold on. Do you have that sense of holding on?
Yes.
Okay, what's that? Is that an apathy, grief, fear, lust?
It's kind of grief.
A grief? All right. And just allow it to come
Am I
up.
guilty?
Yeah. So just allow that grief to come up. Just allow yourself to feel it. Okay? Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
I did.
Yeah. That's a little easier now, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so just feel your now feeling again. See what the now feeling is.
I guess I'm feeling kind of ashamed or
Ashamed?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that an apathy, a grief, a fear, a lust? What is it?
It's kind of a lust. It's wanting to be liked or wanting to be...
Oh, okay. All right, so just allow yourself to feel the lust. Uh-oh, there it goes. Did you let go more of it?
Yeah, just as soon as I really get clear on what it is,
Yes.
it just
Releases.
seems so silly.
Yeah. Discovery is half the process. We spend so much of our time running from our emotions that when we're just willing to turn around and squarely look at what we're feeling in the moment, that's about 80%. Letting go is really pretty easy. It happens, you'll see as you keep working with it, it will happen more and more spontaneously. And it doesn't mean you're necessarily laughing all the time. You might laugh more, you might not, but you'll notice that you become aware of your feeling, and as soon as you become aware of it with the intention of being willing to let it go, you'll notice it will start releasing more and more. In fact, one of the things you'll notice over the week as you're practicing the technique before watching the next tape, or as you work with it over time, you'll notice that even the questions we use become secondary. The questions are really just, they're our lead into the process, but they become secondary after a while.
Okay.
So how do you feel now?
I feel real light and calm.
Okay. Let's do one release on the good feeling, too.
Okay.
So just that calm feeling, is that a peaceful feeling, an accepting feeling, courageous? What is it?
It's kind of just quiet and peaceful.
Okay, so just allow yourself to feel the peace. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, how does it feel now?
Just real relaxed.
Great. Okay, I'll just allow you to keep going with that on your own. And remember to keep working down your list. Okay? Who else would like to work on a have to?
I would.
Chris? Okay.
I feel that I have to share a greater responsibility in terms of responsibilities at home with my mate.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel they should be shared a little bit more equal. So I feel I have to
Right.
do certain things.
Right.
And the feeling that gives me is a feeling of frustration.
That frustration feeling, is it an apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger? Anger?
Anger.
All right, so
Definitely.
just allow yourself to feel the anger. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
Okay. Now feel the anger again. Just feel whatever's left of the anger. Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
Okay, how does it feel now?
That feels better.
Feels better? Okay. So where would you put that on the chart?
Probably a little bit more clarity, courageousness about approaching the whole idea of responsibilities and sharing them equally.
Good. Okay, so let's do one release on the good feeling too.
Okay.
So just allow yourself to feel that courageous feeling. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you allow it to release?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Next week.
Next week.
I guess I'm going to need the courage to
Tell her. Yeah, you seem to be releasing it anyway. Again, even a good feeling, you don't need to hold on to it. Again, the basis of that is something else that I don't know if we've mentioned enough yet. The good part is inherent. We're the courageousness, acceptance, and peace. You don't have to do anything to put them in there. What we're doing is actually uncovering them. Now, we'll let those go too eventually. When they're all gone, you're just imperturbable, where nothing and no one can disturb you. But in that state, you're absolutely powerful to accomplish whatever you want. So you're never giving anything up in your path to imperturbability, except the pain. Okay? Good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Now you can keep going as I'm working with our home viewers. So keep going down your list and keep releasing as I give your turn. So just allow yourself to focus on one of the have-tos on your list. Now just allow yourself to become aware of your now feeling about that have-to. Now trace it to one of the underlying emotions, the apathy, the fear, the lust, the anger, the pride, whatever it is. Could you allow it to release? Could you? Would you? When? Now feel the remainder of that feeling. Feel whatever's left of that now feeling. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now take another look inside and just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. It might be more of the same feeling, or another feeling might be pushing up. But in either case, just allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When? Now take another look at that have-to and see what your feeling is about it now. Just allow yourself to get a sense of your now feeling about that. Now remember, if it's a positive feeling, let's do a few releases on that as well. You could always feel better. And just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you allow yourself to let it go? Would you? When? Feel your now feeling again. Just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you allow it to release? Would you? When? Take one more look inside and just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Okay. Now, if you've let it go completely, give yourself a check in the let go column. And if you're feeling good now, give yourself a check in the feeling good column. And what I would suggest you do is pause the tape for a moment and continue working on the sheet to make sure you've released everything on your list of have-tos before you move on.
I did find myself with more clarity. I'm one of these people, I'll get 6 steps down the hallway and go, oops, I forgot and got to go back. Well, this week it was only like a step and a half. So I figure, hey, I'm making improvements and gaining in terms of the clarity that you mentioned. If you can release that consuming feeling, it allows you to focus more on the things that really do count or do need to be dealt with.
Right. When my husband and I moved here, we were renting a house, and he was beginning.
Before I took the course, at the Sedona Institute, the release technique, my relationship with my dad was that we didn't talk. We had no communication whatsoever. Now I feel that we talk more than we ever have. I feel closer to him than I ever have.
One thing that happens in the first week, and it was so subtle that I didn't notice until I fell to the second week, and is that the world changed for me. It was like all of a sudden, from living in the, let's say, in the first floor of a building, I noticed that I went to a higher floor. I have a clearer perspective about myself and others, and that was very amazing. And I remember became very quiet and really starting to admire my surroundings more. All of a sudden, I became more in touch with what was around me.
So welcome back, all of you here and those of you at home, to tape 4. We're actually coming now to a very powerful part of the course. This is where we work on goals. What we've been doing up until now is focusing on eliminating the negative and using the releasing to do that. What we're going to be doing now is showing you how you can get what it is that you want in your life. So we're going to be taking the releasing really a step further. Unfortunately, most of us have had the experience of goals as often a disappointing one. Maybe we've set goals, we've never followed through with them, we've given up with them. Or maybe they didn't turn out as we expected. Maybe we got them, but they were still disappointing at the end to us. So very often we have a lot of feelings about goals themselves. So what we're going to do is for you to get the
feel at least courageous, but even maybe wanting to go further to acceptance or peace. And then you turn the chart over, and then you'll see there's a list of actions you can take on the reverse side of the chart. It's like a to-do list for that particular goal. And what you do then there is you list some of the actions that you can take, and then release your feelings about those. Now this is a very powerful combination, and what you can do is keep going back and forth. First you work on the front side of the chart for a while until you feel really good about your goal. Then you turn it over and you write down some of the action steps you can take, and you release on them. Now very often with action and goals is we get a little confused. We sometimes think that we have to take step X, Y, and Z in order to get a goal. And as you release on the actions, you might start to see that maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe there's a totally new way to get it that you wouldn't have ever seen unless you wrote down the actions you thought you could take and release your feelings about those. Also, as you release on the action steps, it also opens you up more to your goal, because sometimes we don't even attempt goals because of the actions we think we're going to have to take in order to get that goal. Even a very simple one like dieting. You know, sometimes you think that you're going to have to give up your favorite foods in order to lose weight, but maybe there's a way to lose weight without doing that. You don't know unless you work on both sides of the chart. Now, those of you at home, remember to follow along. You'll get a chance to work in a few moments, but follow along as we're working with some others here. So how would you phrase the goal?
I allow myself to release the anxieties of having stress in my life.
Okay. The problem with that goal, can you see the problem with that goal? Rather than me telling you, I think you can see it.
Yeah.
What's the problem with the goal?
Stress is very broad.
Well, there's something else, though. Basically, remember one of the points on goals is to not put in what you're trying to get rid of? Remember that part?
Okay.
So how could you phrase that in a way where you're not holding in mind the negative? Where would you be if you'd already released the stress?
I'd be at a normal blood pressure.
Yeah. So that would be the goal. I allow myself to easily achieve and maintain
110/70.
Okay, or you can say normal blood pressure.
Normal blood pressure. Okay.
Okay, which would you prefer?
Normal would be fine.
Okay. Why don't you write it down that way then? Do you want another sheet? Did you already write on one of the sheets?
No, I did not on this one.
Okay.
Here. Okay.
Okay, let me hear it.
I allow myself to enjoy normal blood pressure.
Okay.
Is that all right?
I would put enjoy having.
Okay.
Let me hear it though.
I allow myself to enjoy having normal blood pressure.
Okay, great. All right.
Feels good.
All right, now, so read the goal out loud.
Okay. I allow myself to enjoy having normal blood pressure.
Okay, what's your now feeling about the goal?
It's a good goal.
It's a good goal, yeah. Okay. But what's your now feeling about it? When you think of having normal blood pressure?
Frustration.
Okay, so write that down. Okay.
Okay.
Now, where does that fit on the chart? Is that an apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger? What is it?
Could be in lust.
Lust? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just allow yourself to feel that now feeling of lust. Can you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Could you let it go? Could
Yes.
you?
Mm-hmm.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay. Feel the remaining lust. Just allow yourself to feel the remainder of that lust.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay. Feel what is there ever left of that now feeling of lust. Just feel the remainder of the lust. Can you feel it? That now feeling
Just
of
a
lust?
little bit there, but it's not.
All right. Well, the little bit that's left, just allow yourself to feel it.
Okay.
Now, could you allow it to release?
Yes.
When?
That's okay.
When? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you let it go?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. You can give yourself a check then. Do you feel good now, too?
Feel very good about it.
Okay, great. Give yourself another check then. All right, now read the goal again.
I allow myself to enjoy having normal blood pressure.
Okay. And what's your now feeling about it?
It's wanting to know exactly where I'm at on it right now.
Wanting to know?
Wanting to know.
Okay, what is that? Is that more lust?
Yeah, it's
a
more
different
lust,
kind.
yeah.
Okay. You releasing?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just check. See if there's any more of that lust. That lust to know. Can you feel any more of it?
No, I can't.
Okay, great. So now read the go out loud again.
I allow myself to enjoy having normal blood pressure.
Okay, and what's your now feeling about it?
I feel that it will happen.
Okay. Okay, write that down. Okay. And is, where's that? Apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, pride, or courageousness?
Courageousness, I think.
Courageousness?
Mhm.
Okay.
Just like I can.
Okay, so just let yourself feel the courageousness. That now feeling of courageousness.
Okay.
Could you let it go? Could you?
Yeah, I could.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
Who would?
Now,
Okay. Is there any more of that now feeling of courageousness?
no, it's almost a peaceful serenity type feeling.
Okay, so you let the courageousness go?
I
Okay,
did.
so you can give yourself a check. Do you feel good too? All right, good. Give yourself a check for that too. All right, read the go on again.
I allow myself to enjoy having normal blood pressure.
Okay, and what's you're now feeling about it?
That is okay.
It feels like it's possible it's okay?
Yes, totally possible.
Great. Would you say that's a gain from where you started out?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. From the original to where it is now, yes, a whole big gain.
Okay, terrific. Now, why don't we work on the other side too?
Okay.
So what action could you take to achieve this goal?
Increased level of exercise.
Okay, so write that down. And what you're now feeling about it?
Feel like I should just go do it.
Okay, so write that down. I should just go do it. And is that apathy, a grief, a fear, a lust, anger? What is that?
I think it's acceptance.
Just check. There might be something else there. A should isn't usually an acceptance. There's still a little push there, isn't there?
Yeah, see, when I wrote it down, I wrote down, just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
I took the should out of it.
Okay. Well, just check. See what your now feeling is. Is it acceptance? Or is it another feeling?
No, it goes back to, could I? It goes back to the problem I'm having with my foot.
Okay. So is that apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger? What is it?
It's kind of a fear.
All right, so write that down, fear. And just allow yourself to feel that now feeling of fear. Just allow yourself to feel it.
Okay.
Could you let it go? Could you?
Yeah, I could let it go.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now. Now.
Okay, good. Now feel the remainder of the fear. Feel what's ever left of the fear.
Okay.
Just allow yourself to feel it. Now could you allow it to release? Could you?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, feel the remainder of the fear. Still some fear?
I don't think so.
Okay, did you let it all go?
I did.
Terrific. Can you give yourself a couple of checks then?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel now about the exercise?
Very good.
Very good. Okay, good, terrific. All right, what other action can you take?
I could drop a little bit of weight.
Okay, write that down then.
Okay.
Okay. And what's your now feeling about that?
Desire to do so.
Desire to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that a lust feeling, a fear, an apathy? What is it?
It goes back into the lust again.
Lust, more lust, okay.
That's home base.
All right. So write down lust. Now just allow yourself to feel the lust. Can you feel it?
There's not much there.
Okay, a little bit that's left. Just allow yourself to feel it. Now could you allow it to release?
Yes, I could.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay. How does it feel now? Did you let go of all the lust? Or is it
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Feel right. Feel peaceful.
All right, so give yourself 2 more checks. You feel good too about losing the weight?
I do.
Okay, what other action could you take?
I don't know.
You know? Okay. Well, hopefully we got it started.
Yeah.
And what you do is you just keep working on both sides until you either achieve the goal or you let it go.
Okay.
So what's your overall feeling now about having normal blood pressure?
It feels like a reality.
Great. Terrific. Would you say it's a game from
That's
where
a
you
game.
started out?
Mm-hmm.
Terrific.
Very good game.
Now, I just have to make one disclaimer here. Remember, we're not treating, diagnosing, or curing anything. All we're doing here is helping you release your feelings or stress about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Good.
Terrific. Good. Thank you. Okay, now it's your turn at home to work on a goal. So if you haven't already done so, write your goal at the top of one of those goal charts. Now read the goal quietly to yourself. Or if you want to, you can read it out loud. It doesn't matter. But just to allow yourself to read the goal. And just see what your now feeling is after reading the goal. Now, whatever the feeling is, just write it down on your goal chart. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now just allow yourself to feel the remainder of that feeling. Just allow yourself to feel that now feeling. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Okay. Now if you let go of that feeling completely, give yourself a check in the let go column. Then read the goal silently to yourself again. Just allow yourself to read the goal. Now just check to see what your now feeling is about the goal. Just allow yourself to feel your now feeling. And then once you can identify it, write it down on your chart. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now feel you're now feeling again. Just feel whatever you're feeling in the moment. Could you allow it to just let go? Would you? When? Again, if you let it go completely, give yourself a check in the let go column. And read the goal to yourself again. All right, now just allow yourself to feel your now feeling about that goal. Could you allow it to release? Would you? When? All right, now just feel that feeling again. Feel what's ever left of that now feeling. Could you allow yourself to let it go? Would you? When? Okay. Now if you've let it go completely, give yourself a check in the let go column. Now you might have more feelings to work through on the front side of the goal until you're at least solidly in courageousness. So if you need to, you can pause the tape.
For the first time in my life, the goal charts focused me. I wrote down on paper all my desires, material and, career goals. And I just started working on them one by one. And amazingly enough, I got what I wanted, and I got my career goals, and it was easier because I was very focused.
I had never been able to save money. So one of the things that I had set out for myself was just a simple decision to, maybe it was about time to have a bank account. And I didn't know how that was going to happen, but I thought, just let me let go of my feelings, because I had made a lot of money, but I spent it as fast as I made it. And I worked on that goal. I probably forgot about it somewhere along the way because I got very busy. But I noticed about a year later when someone asked me, it suddenly occurred to me that I really had a nice bank account. 100% increase in what I had. That felt pretty good.
And I achieved a goal of being able to, what I call, retire. I had set a goal about getting out of having to work. And as I kept using the technique and goals, the goal sheets, it really started opening up. I have a notebook full of goal sheets, and I find them a wonderful way to focus on what I do want to go for and to keep getting rid of the inner blocks that are telling me I can't have it or I shouldn't have it or whatever. So I find the goals extremely powerful to move me up to a nice energy to get rid of whatever is going on that's stopping me.
Okay, so let's do some more releasing on goals now. Who would like to work next? Who has a goal that they would like to do some releasing on?
I do.
Okay, Greg.
It's, the goal is, I've written, it says, I allow myself to enjoy harmony with my family.
Okay. And how does it feel to you?
Right now it feels like something I have to work at getting.
Okay. I wonder if we could put the word easily again in that. And you might even want to put the word release. I allow myself to easily release.
Perhaps
Or
I could
something like
reword
that.
to say I could allow myself to easily release
And
enjoy harmony with my family.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, good. So read the goal out loud, Greg.
Okay. I allow myself to easily release and enjoy harmony with my family.
Okay. What's your first feeling about your goal?
I just feel kind of stopped. I'm not sure where to start with it.
Okay. Make a note of that. I'm not sure where to start. Or I feel kind of stopped. Where would you put that emotion or that feeling? Under which emotion?
I think where I'm at is, it's an I want. I think it would be a lust.
Okay.
That it's something I want to achieve.
Yes.
Not something I feel anxious about or negative about, but yet I don't really feel I have it. So it's something I want to have.
Okay. Well, just put the last feeling down then.
Okay.
And allow yourself to feel that. That sense of I want it.
Okay. I feel
Okay. Could you let it go?
that. Yes, I could feel that.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like it moved forward a little bit.
Good. Is there any more remaining of the lust there?
Oh, it always takes me more than once.
Okay.
There's a little bit of lust.
Okay. Okay, well,
It feels like it felt kind of like a stone rolling forward. It felt like it moved a little bit.
Good.
Which was
Good.
good. It was a good feeling.
Yes, absolutely. But just allow yourself to feel the peace that's remaining.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I can let that go.
Good. Would you?
Yes, I will.
When would you let it go?
Now.
Okay.
Yeah, that moved up. I'm into an I can mode.
All right. Just check off the last column then.
So I'm really feeling more courageous about it now.
Okay.
Because I really feel like it's going to happen.
Good.
Yeah.
Just allow yourself now then to feel that courageous feeling.
That feels good.
Yeah, I know. Let some go though. Good.
Yeah.
Would you let some more go?
Yeah.
When?
Now.
Good. Is there any more of it remaining there, Greg? That courageous feeling?
Actually, I'm not really feeling that. I feel more like just an acceptance that it's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't have to think about wanting it or, yes, I can do it. It's just a given. It will now happen.
Wonderful. So check off the courageousness. Let's do a release on the acceptance feeling. And you might want to even read.
So well.
You might even want to read your goal again, just to make sure.
Yeah, because that could potentially find a feeling that maybe I haven't uncovered.
Right. Just to see, and it may be still the acceptance feeling. But what we do is when we word a goal statement, it's worded in courageousness, and in fact, what that does is it helps to pull up the negative. We word it as a positive, and it helps to pull up the negative also. So you might find that happening. So you can use, that's why we ask you to read the goal statement. You can use that to help do that. But let's check. You might still have that acceptance feeling, but it's good to read it through.
I allow myself to easily release and enjoy harmony with my family.
What's the now feeling there?
I think I'm in acceptance with that. That's where I
Good.
feel I'm at.
Good.
Yeah.
So allow yourself to feel that.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can let it go.
Can you feel any more remaining?
It's kind of hard to describe. It just feels like it just is. seems like a step higher.
Yeah. I'd put that more even in the piece.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
it
like
feels really
being.
good. Yeah, it's like it just bees, you know, not the right word.
Yeah.
It just is.
Right. So give yourself a check there. And let's turn over now to the action part of your goal. What would be an action that you could take to get your goal?
Well, I think it has to start with me.
Okay.
So I think I need to be, I guess more loving would be the best word.
Okay.
That's a pretty encompassing word.
Yes.
Rather than thinking about one item or two items, if I was just in general more loving about it, I think that would accomplish it in itself.
All right. And what you're now feeling about being more loving.
I'm at least in courageousness.
Okay.
So
Good.
let's start there.
Just allow yourself to feel that courageous feeling.
And I can feel that.
Okay. Could you allow it to release?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes. It's gone.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What's the feeling there now?
I might have went right by acceptance, and it feels real good. It just feels like it just is.
Wonderful.
So that's a peaceful feeling.
Yeah. Okay, so you can give yourself a check there and the let go and feel good.
Okay?
Okay.
Excellent.
Now you can carry on thinking of specific things too. It's a wonderful, that's a wonderful action just to be more loving. There might be specific things that you can do also in order to support your goal. And even just an inner action of releasing regularly on your goal is really going to support you in that.
Well, I think when I started the class, this wouldn't have been a goal. I think that since I started releasing, I could see that it was a real goal. And the releasing opened it up so I could make it a goal, which is a nice gain in itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd write that one down in your gains book.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Good.
Good. So I'm just going to leave you to carry on working with it, Greg.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Okay. So let's do some releasing now with our home viewer. And you can carry on releasing on your goals. Just keeping focused, reading the goal to yourself, and releasing whatever feeling comes up. Okay. So those of you at home, just get comfortable. And you can either carry on working on the goal you started earlier, or if you've reworded one now, you have a second goal. But whichever it is, just read it quietly to yourself. And what's the first feeling that comes up about your goal? And just make a note of that feeling. And allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Now feel that feeling again. Feel what's left of that same feeling. Could you allow it to release? Would you? When would you? And if you've let that feeling completely go, check it off in the let go column and then the feel good. And now read the goal again to yourself. And what feeling is there right now in the moment about your goal? Just write that feeling down. And once you've identified it, allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you? When? And check inside. Feel that feeling again. Just allow yourself to feel the remainder of it there. Could you let it go? Would you? When? And check one more time, see if there's any more of that feeling still there. And if there is, allow yourself to feel whatever's left of it. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now let's read the goal chart one more time. And just allow yourself to feel whatever feeling is there now. Could you let that feeling go? Would you? When? And allow yourself to see if there's any more of that feeling there. And just let yourself feel it. Remember, even if it's a good feeling, you can let that go. To allow yourself to feel the feeling. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now I'm sure you're feeling good about your goal by now. But I'm going to let's take this time for you to carry on your own. So turn over the sheet and now think of the actions that you can take now that you feel good about your goal. And carry on releasing by yourself and releasing the feelings about those actions. You'll find that the goals are just such a powerful way to really move forward in your life. You're going to just enjoy working with them so much more. As you deal with the feelings, you'll find that those are the things in the way of you achieving your goals. And as you let go, you'll find your goals are just so much easier to achieve. So carry on your good work, and we'll see you soon.
I think you can start to see that working on goals has the potential to really start to transform all parts of your life. Just think about all those things you've been striving for. Now you have a way to start putting yourself into action to start to achieve what you want. This method, the method you're learning now, is going to not only show you how to eliminate all that stress and tension and all those feelings that you've been carrying around, but you can now start using it to start having more of whatever it is you're wanting. And it should be in a very exciting few days before you view the next set of tapes or before you come back for next weekend, because you can start putting this into action. Now, we've been doing this with the tapes, and we've been doing it here live in the classroom, but you haven't had that much time yet to actually put it into action in your life. And that's what this week, or however long you take before you view the next tapes, is about, putting it into action. Practice, practice, practice. Apply, apply, apply. Release, release, release. The more you use this technique, the more you'll see benefits, no matter what. And you don't have to wait until something hits you across the face. A lot of us think we have to save it up. Practice on small things, traffic, little and petty annoyances that you may have just ordinarily just swept under the rug. If you use it on the small things, when big things do come up, you have the ability to just let it go very easily. So the whole point is to start to create a releasing momentum. Also, you'll see that as you start to practice the technique throughout the week, or until you view the next tape, you'll see you'll need to use the questions less and less. Again, the questions are just designed to start getting you in touch with the releasing process. But as you start to work with it, you'll see the releasing will happen more and more spontaneously. Now, everything we did in the first 4 tapes, or in the first part of this course, is designed to set a solid foundation for what we'll be doing when we come back on the next tape. The next 4 tapes will take whatever you've gotten so far from this technique and tremendously expand upon it. But give yourself the time to apply it before you go on to the next tapes. Just allow yourself to apply it in every part of your life. You've just seen a tiny bit so far of what you can get from this technique. Really, you're learning a new skill, something that will be with you for the rest of your life. So the more you apply yourself to it, the more you're going to see tremendous benefits. So I just want to let you know that you're all doing great, whether you realize it or not. Those of you here, I can see you, but I know also those of you at home, you're doing a lot better than you think. Remember also to keep validating your gains and look for them. You'll start to see them. So have fun, keep working with the material. Also, what I'd like you to do is work in your special area of interest workbook in section 3, the area of goals. So start working on goals this week in your special area of interest workbook, and just keep working with it. Again, those workbooks are very, very important. It's when you work in the workbooks is how you learn the method. And the more you work with those workbooks, the more you're going to see results in every part of your life. So congratulations, you've started a wonderful process, and I'll see you on the next tape.
Utilizing the method, I realized that I didn't need those emotions to control my life or to attain the goals that I'd like to attain. And by becoming more aware of them, I was able to release them and actually attain the goals that I wanted to attain.
I'd say that once we started this technique yesterday, that I sort of felt foolish and angry because it was so simple. And you wonder why you didn't have an opportunity to do this before. And the big game for today is I realize that this one simple tool can be applied to any situation in life. And I'm looking forward to next weekend.
What you've been doing in Volume 1 is getting in touch with your now feeling and tracing that now feeling to the underlying emotions of apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, pride, or courageousness, acceptance, and peace, and then letting it go. All the feelings culminate in these root emotions. And when you eliminate them, all the hundreds of feelings below them are also eliminated. Now, in order to get the most benefit from the program, allow yourself to use what you've learned so far for a few days before beginning Volume 2. This time is best used by practicing your releasing as much as you can. Put your releasing into action and do it constantly. Releasing is a natural process. allow it to be easy. When you experience a gain, write it down so you become aware of your progress. As you practice this technique, you'll discover that it's not always necessary to ask yourself the questions. However, if you feel the need to use them, do so. Please feel free to review any Volume 1 tape before moving on to Volume 2. What you'll learn in Volume 2 is thousands of times more powerful than what you have learned so far. But you must take time to practice letting go of feelings before you move on to Volume 2. During this time, you may think of people who might be interested in this course or meet people who notice a positive difference in you. But rather than trying to explain the releasing technique to them, write their name and address on the referral sheets in the back of your workbook. We'll be happy to send them information. Notice your increasing joy as you practice your releasing. I'll see you in the next session.
Okay, good. So read the goal out loud, Greg.
Okay. I allow myself to easily release and enjoy harmony with my family.
Okay. What's your first feeling about your goal?
I just feel kind of stopped. I'm not sure where to start with it.
Okay. Make a note of that. I'm not sure where to start. Or I feel kind of stopped. Where would you put that emotion or that feeling? Under which emotion?
I think where I'm at is, it's an I want. I think it would be a lust.
Okay.
That it's something I want to achieve.
Yes.
Not something I feel anxious about or negative about, but yet I don't really feel I have it. So it's something I want to have.
Okay. Well, just put the lust feeling down then.
Okay.
And allow yourself to feel that. That sense of I want it.
Okay, I can feel
Okay. Could you let it go?
that. Yes, I could let go of that.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
When?
Now.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like it moved forward a little bit.
Good. Is there any more remaining of the lust there?
Oh, it always takes me more than once.
Okay.
There's a little bit of lust.
Okay. Okay, well,
It feels like it felt kind of like a stone rolling forward. It felt like it moved a little bit.
Good.
Which was good. It was a good feeling.
Yes, absolutely. But just allow yourself to feel the peace that's remaining.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I can let that go.
Good. Would you?
Yes, I will.
When would you let it go?
Now.
Okay.
Yeah, that moved up. I'm into an I can mode.
All right. Just check off the last column then.
So I'm really feeling more courageous about it now.
Okay.
Because I really feel like it's going to happen.
Good.
Yeah.
Just allow yourself now then to feel that courageous feeling.
That feels good.
Yeah, I know. Let some go though. Good.
Yeah.
Would you let some more go?
Yeah.
When?
Now.
Good. Is there any more of it remaining there, Greg? That courageous feeling?
Actually, I don't really feel any of that. I feel more like just an acceptance that it's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't have to think about wanting it or, yes, I can do it. It's just a given. It will now happen.
Wonderful. So check off the courageousness. Let's do a release on the acceptance feeling. And you might want to even read.
So well.
You might even want to read your goal again, just to make sure.
Yeah, because that could potentially find a feeling that maybe I haven't uncovered.
Right. Just to see, and it may be still the acceptance feeling, but what we do is when we word a goal statement, it's worded in courageousness. And in fact, what that does is it helps to pull up the negative. We word it as a positive, and it helps to pull up the negative also. So you might find that happening. So you can use, that's why we ask you to read the goal statement. You can use that to help do that. But let's check. You might still have that acceptance feeling, but it's good to read it through.
I allow myself to easily release and enjoy harmony with my family.
What's the now feeling there?
I think I'm in acceptance with that. That's where I
Good.
feel I'm at.
Good.
Yeah.
So allow yourself to feel that.
Okay.
Could you let it go?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can let it go.
Can you feel any more remaining?
It's kind of hard to describe. It just feels like it just is. Which seems like a step higher.
Yeah. I'd put that more even in the piece.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's
like
really
being.
good. Yeah, it's like it just bees, you know,
Yeah.
not the right word.
Yeah.
It just is.
Right. So give yourself a check there. And let's turn over now to the action part of your goal. What would be an action that you could take to get your goal?
Well, I think it has to start with me.
Okay.
So I think I need to be, I guess more loving would be the best word.
Okay.
That's a pretty encompassing word.
Yes.
Rather than thinking about one item or two items, if I was just in general more loving about it, I think that would accomplish it in itself.
All right. And what you're now feeling about being more loving.
I'm at least in courageousness.
Okay.
So
Good.
let's start there.
Just allow yourself to feel that courageous feeling.
And I can feel that.
Okay. Could you allow it to release?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes. It's gone.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What's the feeling there now?
I might have went right by acceptance, and it feels real good. It just feels like it just is.
Wonderful.
So that's a peaceful feeling.
Yeah. Okay, so you can give yourself a check there and the let go and feel good.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Now you can carry on thinking of specific things too. It's a wonderful, that's a wonderful action just to be more loving. There might be specific things that you can do also in order to support your goal. And even just an inner action of releasing regularly on your goal is really going to support you in that.
Well, I think when I started the class, this wouldn't have been a goal. I think that since I started releasing, I could see that it was a real goal. And the releasing opened it up so I could make it a goal, which is a nice gain in itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd write that one down in your gains book.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Good.
Good. So I'm just going to leave you to carry on working with it, Greg.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Okay. So let's do some releasing now with our home viewer. And you can carry on releasing on your goals. Just keeping focused, reading the goal to yourself, and releasing whatever feeling comes up. Okay. So those of you at home, just get comfortable. And you can either carry on working on the goal you started earlier, or if you've reworded one now, you have a second goal. But whichever it is, just read it quietly to yourself. And what's the first feeling that comes up about your goal? And just make a note of that feeling. And allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When would you let it go? Now feel that feeling again. Feel what's left of that same feeling. Could you allow it to release? Would you? When would you? Okay. And if you've let that feeling completely go, check it off in the let go column and then the feel good. And now read the goal again to yourself. And what feeling is there right now in the moment about your goal? Just write that feeling down. And once you've identified it, allow yourself to feel it. Could you let it go? Would you? When? And check inside. Feel that feeling again. Just allow yourself to feel the remainder of it there. Could you let it go? Would you? When? And check one more time, see if there's any more of that feeling still there. And if there is, allow yourself to feel whatever's left of it. Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now let's read the goal chart one more time. And just allow yourself to feel whatever feeling is there now. Could you let that feeling go? Would you? When? And allow yourself to see if there's any more of that feeling there. And just let yourself feel it. Remember, even if it's a good feeling, you can let that go. To allow yourself to feel the feeling. Could you let it go? would you? When? Now, I'm sure you're feeling good about your goal by now. But I'm going to let's take this time for you to carry on your own. So turn over the sheet and now think of the actions that you can take now that you feel good about your goal. And carry on releasing by yourself and releasing the feelings about those actions. You'll find that the goals are just such a powerful way to really move forward in your life. You're going to just enjoy working with them so much more. As you deal with the feelings, you'll find that those are the things in the way of you achieving your goals. And as you let go, you'll find your goals are just so much easier to achieve. So carry on your good work, and we'll see you soon.
I think you can start to see that working on goals has the potential to really start to transform all parts of your life. Just think about all those things you've been striving for. Now you have a way to start putting yourself into action to start to achieve what you want. This method, the method you're learning now, is going to not only show you how to eliminate all that stress and tension and all those feelings that you've been carrying around, but you can now start using it to start having more of whatever it is you're wanting. And it should be in a very exciting few days before you view the next set of tapes or before you come back for next weekend, because you can start putting this into action. Now, we've been doing this with the tapes, and we've been doing it here live in the classroom, but you haven't had that much time yet to actually put it into action in your life. And that's what this week, or however long you take before you view the next tapes, is about, putting it into action. Practice, practice, practice. Apply, apply, apply. Release, release, release. The more you use this technique, the more you'll see benefits, no matter what. And you don't have to wait until something hits you across the face. A lot of us think we have to save it up. Practice on small things, traffic, little and petty annoyances that you may have just ordinarily just swept under the rug. If you use it on the small things, when big things do come up, you have the ability to just let it go very easily. So the whole point is to start to create a releasing momentum. Also, you'll see that as you start to practice the technique throughout the week, or until you view the next tape, you'll see you'll need to use the questions less and less. Again, the questions are just designed to start getting you in touch with the releasing process. But as you start to work with it, you'll see the releasing will happen more and more spontaneously. Now, everything we did in the first 4 tapes, or in the first part of this course, is designed to set a solid foundation for what we'll be doing when we come back on the next tape. The next 4 tapes will take whatever you've gotten so far from this technique and tremendously expand upon it. But give yourself the time to apply it before you go on to the next tapes. Just allow yourself to apply it in every part of your life. You've just seen a tiny bit so far of what you can get from this technique. Really, you're learning a new skill, something that will be with you for the rest of your life. So the more you apply yourself to it, the more you're going to see tremendous benefits. So I just want to let you know that you're all doing great, whether you realize it or not. Those of you here, I can see you, but I know also those of you at home, you're doing a lot better than you think. Remember also to keep validating your gains and look for them. You'll start to see them. So have fun, keep working with the material. Also, what I'd like you to do is work in your special area of interest workbook in section 3, the area of goals. So start working on goals this week in your special area of interest workbook, and just keep working with it. Again, those workbooks are very, very important. It's when you work in the workbooks is how you learn the method. And the more you work with those workbooks, the more you're going to see results in every part of your life. So congratulations, you've started a wonderful process, and I'll see you on the next tape.
Utilizing the method, I realized that I didn't need those emotions to control my life or to attain the goals that I'd like to attain. And by becoming more aware of them, I was able to release them and actually attain the goals that I wanted to attain.
I'd say that once we started this technique yesterday, that I sort of felt foolish and angry because it was so simple. And you wonder why you didn't have an opportunity to do this before. And the big game for today is I realize that this one simple tool can be applied to any situation in life. And I'm looking forward to next weekend.
What you've been doing in Volume 1 is getting in touch with your now feeling and tracing that now feeling to the underlying emotions of apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, pride, or courageousness, acceptance, and peace, and then letting it go. All the feelings culminate in these root emotions. And when you eliminate them, all the hundreds of feelings below them are also eliminated. Now, in order to get the most benefit from the program, allow yourself to use what you've learned so far for a few days before beginning Volume 2. This time is best used by practicing your releasing as much as you can. Put your releasing into action and do it constantly. Releasing is a natural process. Allow it to be easy. When you experience a gain, write it down so you become aware of your progress. As you practice this technique, you'll discover that it's not always necessary to ask yourself the questions. However, if you feel the need to use them, do so. Please feel free to review any Volume 1 tape before moving on to Volume 2. What you'll learn in Volume 2 is thousands of times more powerful than what you have learned so far. But you must take time to practice letting go of feelings before you move on to Volume 2. During this time, you may think of people who might be interested in this course or meet people who notice a positive difference in you. But rather than trying to explain the releasing technique to them, write their name and address on the referral sheets in the back of your workbook. We'll be happy to send them information. Notice your increasing joy as you practice your releasing. I'll see you in the next session. This is the beginning of Volume 2. We're going to take releasing a giant step further. Up to this point, we have been feeling our now feeling, tracing it back to apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, and pride, or courageousness, acceptance, and peace, and then letting it go. As I'm sure you can see, there are tremendous benefits in letting go of your now feeling. What we'll be doing next will greatly enhance your ability to release. In this volume, you'll complete the learning of the release technique. Now, once you have the complete picture, again you will see that this is an even more powerful and effective way to let go of those limitations that control you.
Well, welcome back. I'm glad to see you all here this morning, and welcome back those of you who've taken a few days break with the tape. Whatever benefits you've noticed so far with releasing are about to be greatly accelerated. What we do in the first 4 tapes and the first weekend of the course is we basically show you how to start tapping your natural ability to let go. But what we'll be doing now is really, in these next 4 tapes and these next 2 days, is really developing the release technique. This is the nuts and bolts of what it's all about. Whatever benefits you've received so far, and whatever power you've noticed in the release technique, what we do now for the next 2 days or the next 4 tapes is thousands of times more effective. So if you've seen benefits so far, just wait for what's about to unfold. Now, rather than explain a lot about how we're going to be doing something different, what I'm going to do now is work with someone here and just allow you to watch along with them as they're releasing, and you'll start to get a sense of what we'll be doing differently. And it might be someone from this group, or it might be someone from another group that we've already previously recorded.
So I ended up with this colitis attack today, I don't know, except that I have had some strong feelings, and I haven't given myself time to release on this Judge Thomas Anita Hill thing. It's made me very angry and sick to my stomach, and that's the strongest feelings I've had all week. And I was listening to that this morning, so maybe that's why it bothers my cold, I don't know.
It could be. Well, see if there's any feeling about that now.
Yeah, I'm angry.
Okay.
Just
All right.
about that.
Well, just let yourself feel that now feeling of anger. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
All right. Is it a wanting approval or a wanting to control? Which one was it? You're letting it go. Which one it was? What was it?
Well, I suppose it must have been wanting to control.
Okay.
And as soon as I thought, there's no way you can control that.
I know, just wait. All right. See if there's any more. See if you can become aware of any more of your wanting to control about that situation.
Hey, I can say to myself, I want to control. I don't like this, and it'll all come down.
Well, just look at it, though. Just see. See if there's any more of that wanting to control.
No, I'm trying to conjure it up, and it won't come.
I know, you
No.
released it. That was very easy.
Yeah.
All right, so see how you feel now.
I feel okay about it.
Yes.
Till the next time I listen to something.
Well, think of just review, though. So review what you saw this morning. And see what your feeling is about it.
Yeah. I've released on it.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, as soon as you saw it was wanting to control, it just released.
Mm-hmm.
You actually held it back a little bit, otherwise you would have released more.
Mm-hmm. See, I should do that. I haven't been doing that. I haven't been asking myself those questions.
I know, because it's the first time I brought it up. Now, I think you'll notice that I did something very different than what we were doing before. The first segment of the course, the first 4 tapes or the first 2 days, and when you're practicing in between, you're letting go, you're getting in touch with what you're feeling in the moment, you're tracing it to the underlying emotion, and then you're letting go of the emotion. Well, every emotion culminates in just 2 wants, the wanting approval and the wanting to control. And as we work this weekend, we'll be working on just those 2 wants. And you see, as you focus on those 2 wants and start to let those go, you'll see that your releasing is greatly accelerated. By the way, something very important. Want equates to lack. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being in control. There's nothing wrong with loving or having approval. The problem is we're always wanting it. And when we're wanting it, we're holding it away. So what we'll be doing is letting go of that wanting approval and that wanting to control. And as we do that, you'll see whatever you've achieved so far with releasing will be greatly accelerated. And you also notice that when I ask the questions, I'll be just saying, could you? Because the would you and the when is really not necessary with approval and control. You'll see as you start to become aware of your wanting approval and control, even more than with the emotions, you'll have a tendency to just let it go. It's like you'll notice you're wanting to control and it will go, and it's just gone. Because it's natural. It's a natural part of us to let go of our wanting approval and wanting control once it's identified. So who else has something they'd like to release?
I've noticed that I'm very judgmental, and I find myself putting people into stereotypical categories quite rapidly, and I don't like that. I'd like to get rid of that.
Okay. And as you talk about that, just see what feeling it stirs up.
Well, I feel bad at myself for doing it. Kind of like I want to decide what everybody should do or be. Okay, a feeling. Well, it's judgmental, if that's a feeling.
Okay, and where would you put that? Fortunately, we live our lives in wanting instead of having. And then we're always denying ourselves a tremendous amount because of that wanting. So if you're willing to start letting go of the wanting, you'll see that you have more and more of everything that you've been striving for so long. The striving is actually keeping it away. So it's important to start focusing on that wanting approval and that wanting to control that's there all the time and start letting it go. And by the way, as we get into working on the wanting approval and wanting to control, you'll probably notice you're starting to have many insights and realizations about your life, about how you've handled things. Please take the time to write them down, because you'll be able to work with those. You'll catch yourself the next time you're in a situation where it's been a long-standing area where you've been really wanting to control it. And because you've written it down and started to focus on it, you remember to release. And you'll see that as you release the wanting approval and wanting to control, whatever situation in your life that's been locked into a certain pattern can start to shift. By the way, when we're wanting approval and wanting to control, we very often don't see that when it's appropriate to take action, when it's not. When we're wanting to control, we're very often acting when it's totally inappropriate, and stopping ourselves from acting when it is appropriate because of that want. The want, again, because that want really equates to lack, we find ourselves saying and doing things that create the lack of approval or create the lack of control. A typical example, of course, is sales. When you're in a sales-type situation, very often it's time to keep quiet, and what do? You start talking because you get uncomfortable with the silence. Your wanting approval comes up, or your wanting control comes up. You're trying to make them buy something, and then you do the exact wrong thing to make the deal. So wanting approval and wanting to control are getting in our way all the time, and they're always easy to let go of if you decide to.
I've been, one of the things I was working on was this approval and releasing that approval. And people that were close to me, I was releasing approval with those particular people. And a comment this morning, excuse me.
Sorry, rather than trying to get through the story, just let it come up. Jack, just let it up. Said it's your wanting approval coming up. Could you just let it go?
Yes.
All right, just let more of it come up. Could you just allow it to release?
Yes.
Okay, see if you can do that some more. Are you aware of the wanting approval?
Very much so.
Okay. Could you allow it to release?
Yes, I can.
Okay, are you aware of more of it?
Yes.
Is it releasing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Just let yourself become aware more of it. Is it releasing?
Slow.
Yeah. Okay. Are you wanting to make it go faster? Is there a little wanting to release faster?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that the wanting to control?
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Did that just release? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, you go ahead and finish talking about it.
Okay.
It might just bring more of it up.
Yeah, what it was I was looking for approval from my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so the difficulty that I was having in releasing with the people I was looking for approval with was the fact that it was deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
It was the approval of two people who I love very dearly.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that until this morning.
Right, okay. So there's more of it there now, right? Okay. Could you just allow it to release?
Yes.
All right. Just allow yourself to become aware of the wanting approval. And just allow it to release.
Yeah, I'm going through that tingly state.
Okay. How's it now?
Feels much better.
Much better. Still
Much
some
better.
though. Just
Yes.
there's not much left. See if you can just let the rest of it come into your awareness. Just allow it to release. How's it now?
It's leaving.
Good.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, good.
Very, very good.
Terrific. Would you say that's a gain?
Yes, I've already written it down here, but there was on top of that.
Right. Okay. What we'll be doing now is we'll be giving you at home an opportunity to do some releasing as well on this new way, with this new way of releasing. And those of you here, as we've been doing before, it's important to release along. As I'm helping the home viewer, you can be releasing in your chairs. So now just allow yourself, we can start now with a feeling, since that's where we started last weekend. So just allow yourself to become aware of your now feeling. It's an apathy, a grief, a fear, lust, anger, pride, whatever it is, just allow yourself to become aware of your now feeling. But take it a little deeper and see if you can just become aware of whether it's coming from a wanting approval or a wanting to control. Could you let go of that wanting approval or that wanting to control? Now just allow yourself to focus inside again and become aware if there's any more of the wanting approval or wanting to control there right now. Could you allow it to release? Could you? Take another look inside and just allow yourself to focus on your now want, whatever it is. Either the wanting approval or the wanting to control. And remember, we're just letting go of the wanting. Could you let it go? Now let's keep going with this a little while longer. Just allow yourself, if you need to, you can think of a specific situation that you've already been working on, that you might still have some feeling about. And let's see if we can start getting in touch with the underlying want that's causing that situation to be a problem. So as you think about that specific situation, just see which want is stirred up in the moment. Now, sometimes it's a combination of both, but see which one you're more aware of. Either the wanting approval or the wanting to control. Could you let it go? Now just allow yourself to become aware of more of that wanting in the moment, the wanting approval or the wanting to control. Could you allow it to release? And just allow yourself to become aware of more of that wanting approval or wanting to control. And remember, if you notice that as you become aware of it, you're just letting it go before I even ask the question, or you ask it of yourself, that's okay. That's a normal part of the process. It's natural. So just allow yourself to become aware of whatever you're wanting in the moment, the wanting approval or the wanting to control. And could you let it go? Okay. Now, I think you can see this new way of releasing can be extremely powerful. In just a few releases, you notice yourself getting a lot quieter. But whatever your initial experience is of using this technique, remember, this is just the beginning. It's something new. It might take you a little while to get used to letting go at this deeper level, this more powerful way of letting go. But just be easy with yourself. And also make sure you take time to write down your gains and realizations. You'll start to see a lot as you focus on this wanting approval and wanting to control. And as you can continue letting go of it, you'll start to see that anything is possible.
The Sedona Method has been extremely beneficial in a business sense, in that I am not so fearful, I guess, afraid to approach people, potential clients, about projects or about work. I don't live and die with everything that might possibly come about in the business, in a business standpoint. I can go in much more calmly and speak with people. Again, I don't live or die with their decision. If things work out, fine. If they don't, something else is going to turn up, and it always has. And I find that it's turning up a lot more frequently now than it did in the past. And so it just has given me confidence. I think confidence in myself, in my own ability, and it's paid off.
So we'll be taking a break in a moment, but what I'd like you to do is to use the time to start looking for the wanting approval and wanting to control so you can start letting it go.
Last week I had released on the fact that feelings will instantaneously change my mood and my attitude towards others or towards myself. And I noticed during the week that while that would still happen sometimes, immediately I'd notice it and then I could release that, whatever was going on right then. And that to me was a very big gain because I didn't have to stay stuck in that. So I felt really good about that. That was very nice.
So now we're going to be working on a worksheet in your book, and you will need workbook number 2 for this. So if you haven't got it out already, make sure that you just pull that out. And turn to the page that says remember at the top. this worksheet is going to help you to start to get in touch with the wanting approval and the wanting to control. And what we're going to do is have you think of specific instances that you wanted approval or that you wanted to control. We have a lot of those in our lives, but there'll be ones that come to mind for you, whether it's last week or years ago. So we're just going to take some time now for you to write down those specific instances. Now that you've written some instances down where you wanted approval and wanted to control, let me just explain how to use this worksheet. What you'll be doing is focusing on that specific time. For example, there's an example here at the party. You'll be thinking of that time and seeing what gets stirred up, which want gets stirred up when you think about that specific time, either the wanting approval or the wanting to control. For instance, the example here says, regarding the party, I wanted them to like me. Well, that would be coming from the wanting approval. And so what you'll be doing is focusing on the wanting approval or the wanting to control, allowing that to release to completion, then checking that off on your let go column, and carrying on until you've let go of all of the wanting approval and all of the wanting to control, until you feel good about that incident. So let's do some work on this together now. So those of you at home, remember to keep releasing along, whether I'm working with somebody here or you're watching somebody releasing from another class.
Yeah, under the approval, I put when I said I had taken a new job, I have to tell everybody about it to see how they feel about it, and I guess that's wanting approval. I feel fine about it now, though.
Did you release it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Why don't you give me another
good.
one?
For approval, there's not really a whole lot. I find that I want to control a lot.
Oh, okay, so you're not really, you can't think of one right now, you're having fun.
For approval, not really,
Okay.
For control,
Okay.
when I had to sign a new lease just the other day, I went in there very determined that I was going to get the better of the deal. So I wanted to control the situation. It actually worked out good in my favor, but so I don't know whether that's negative or positive. I wanted to control, and I did.
Well, we sometimes get fooled that the wanting to control is doing something positive. But anyway, go see if you can let yourself feel any of your wanting to control. Okay. Could you allow it to release? Okay.
What I find with that, at least that particular situation, I felt good about it, but I also felt kind of pushy about it too. So,
yeah.
Not that that's really negative, but
yeah. Well, can you get a sense of any of the pushiness right now?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that the wanting to control?
Yeah.
Did you just release some of it?
That feels really good. Yeah. Yeah, that's a real drive in me, the wanting to control.
Right.
That feels good to be in control.
Right. And when you let it go, have anyone noticed that you feel more in control when you let go of wanting to control?
Yeah, definitely. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah. Okay. Terry.
I'm releasing.
Okay. Moving right along. Did you want to tell us what you're releasing on?
Sure. I'd like to share that.
Okay.
I wrote down 2 things for approval, but I think they stem into just the one. I need my mother's approval about everything, as far as I want her to see me as an adult, you know. And that just about covers it. Just from the time I was a teenager on, that's, well, actually, all my life, I guess. I'm just always seeking that approval.
Okay. And are you aware of some now?
Aware of some, what how do you mean?
Can you feel it, the wanting approval?
I don't know, I've been letting it go the whole time, so.
Right. Let's see if there's any left right now of that wanting approval.
A little.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Good. Okay, now, well, think of your mother again.
I see her smiling.
You see a smile?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Good. This is really nice.
Yeah,
This is nice.
okay, what about the control?
Okay. This was a really trying time for me when we moved. This first time I was controlling everything, you know, other moves I'd doing with my folks or whatnot. This was, you know, me as an adult, and I guess this is wanting approval also. You know, I want everybody to see me as an adult, but I wanted everything to work in our benefit, to our benefit. I wanted to control everything. Wanted everything to just to go like clockwork.
Right.
And it eventually worked out.
Right.
You know, there were some trying times, but
Yeah. So see if you can allow yourself to be aware of some of your wanting control.
oh, I needed this 3 months ago. Oh, I just feel so light.
Yeah, you just, as soon as you allow it to come into awareness, it just leaves.
Oh, wow, this is nice.
Good.
Okay. And one other was once we finally got here, neither one of us had a job. Oh, that was really stressful. We only had like $200.
Yeah.
You know, and we had just paid for rent and everything, so we were good for a month, but, you know, it took me a couple of weeks to find a job. Actually, I take that back. It took me about 3 days. And I got the job at Butterfields, but my husband didn't get a job for 6 weeks. So that, you know, even though I had some income coming in, he didn't have any income coming in, and that was really rough.
Okay.
It was a rough time.
So then did that stir up your wanting to control?
Yeah.
Can you allow yourself to be aware of some of it now?
Oh, wow.
You just released it, right?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Great. Now just see if there's any more. Just think of that situation again. Is there any more?
I just let it go again. It's gone.
Good.
Oh, it feels so much better.
Good.
Thank
Take one more check. Just check the situation.
There's no more concern.
All
There's
right,
no
great.
more
So
worry.
you let it all go, and you probably feel okay. then.
Yeah,
So you can give
do.
yourself 2 checks.
I think this was something that's been a long ways back, and that's wanting approval from my father. That carries over into other relationships, too.
Right.
And
so are you...
I feel great about it right now. As I was listening and going through this, and the thoughts went back, and I could visualize my parents sitting where they normally sit most of the day now, and I don't feel like I have their approval, but I also don't feel like it makes a great bit of difference anymore.
That's great. Okay.
I feel good about it.
Good.
Feel good about it.
Good. Terrific. Now, do you feel loving towards them?
Yes, very much so.
That's the key. When you totally let go of your wanting approval, you feel love. And then it doesn't matter what the other person does.
Yes, because I do feel that.
Right.
I do feel that.
Great. Good. Did you give yourself 2 checks? For letting it all go and feeling okay?
I just did.
Good.
But the other is control. I've gone through all my life where just work hard. Never worried about anything. And money was always there. Then I reached a stage in my life where money wasn't there anymore. And the frustrations of wanting to control that situation and get it back under control and to handle it. And I feel a greater peace today than I have done in a long time.
Okay. But see if you can become aware of some of the wanting to control relating to that. You just release some.
I think the feeling is you center on it and it
Right.
it slips out real big.
See, the thing is, releasing takes no effort. All the effort that we expend all day long is all the effort that we're expending to hold on. When you go with the river, there's no effort. But when you resist the river, you swim upstream, it's a lot of work. So when you stop, when you let go, you just go with the flow. There's no effort. Zero.
See, yesterday I was going through some blockages. And last night through some blockages, and I was forcing, I was pushing,
Is that
and it
some
wasn't
wanting,
happening.
Was that some wanting to control the process?
Yes, very much so. And
Okay, see if you can become aware of that now.
It's hard. I can't
You
get over it.
already. Oh, you just let it go anyway.
I did.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Terrific.
I don't have any of those feelings that I had.
Good. I guess you get 2 more checks.
Yeah, I got those there.
Okay. My approval was just Monday. I held a leadership class, and in the business that I'm in, my husband and I we're at the top levels of our group, and so it was basically our leadership class that we were holding, and so I was wanting approval from. We're into edifying each other, and so I was wanting approval from the people that were there for the job that I was going to be doing in the class.
There it goes.
Anyway. I think I had released quite a bit of that.